Wanda embarks on a troubling journey, reliving her past for insight into her present and future. Hello, everybody. I'm Steve from VALHARTV, and today I'll be reviewing WandaVision Episode 8, Previously On. We start out in Salem, 1695, and we get to learn about Agatha Harkness's backstory. I thought this was fantastic. We really get to see how she started out as a witch and how her coven was condemning her because she was dabbling in the black arts. So we really get to see what happens when you kind of try to cross her, because at first she's like, no, I didn't do it, and then she turns around and is like, I can be good. And then, yeah, you see that she really kind of turns into Agatha in present day. And it really shows, especially when we go back to present day, about like just what kind of person Agatha is, because we find out that Wanda can't use her powers because Agatha has cast runes. And she shows Wanda. She flies her around and shows her all the different runes, and she says, nobody can cast spells but me in this area. She's like, this is basic 101 stuff. And Wanda's super confused. She's like, what are you talking about, basically? She doesn't say anything, but she looks super confused. And Agatha's confused about it, too, because she wants to find out, like, how Wanda did, like, the anomaly, how she created it. Because it's taken her years just to learn, like, basic spells, you know, and she goes in and starts explaining different spells to Wanda, and she even talks about how she's dabbled in, like, the black arts, including necromancy. I thought that was a really good payoff. Like, this whole episode really has a lot of different payoffs from the previous episodes. Like, they're all starting to come together, so it's like a long payoff for, like, the different episodes, because they set up, each episode has set up a different thing, and now they're just coming together in the last 3 episodes. Agatha also decides to take Wanda through a door, and she wants her to relive her past because she wants to find out how Wanda created everything. So she leads her through, and Wanda at first is like, no, and she's like, did you forget who has your kids? So Wanda goes through and starts reliving all these past traumatic moments, and it is fantastic because Wanda doesn't want to be there. Wanda does not want to relive these things because she doesn't want to feel what's happened. Like, she's taken her emotions offline, basically. She doesn't want to feel anything. She wants to live in this fake world she created. And Agatha's like, nope, we're going to relive this because you need to snap out of it, and I need to find out what happened. So as we go through each of the flashbacks, Agatha comments on them, which is really funny, because she's like, let's recap this one. Let's recap this one. And she goes through, but she keeps pushing her. There's a couple of parts where Wanda does not want to go through the door and does not want to see it, and Agatha's like, well, no, you're going through. Let's go. Come on, you're on a breakthrough. You know, you're on the cusp of a breakthrough. Let's go. So she pushes her. So it's kind of like cool at the same time because she's trying to help Wanda out, but at the same time, she's trying to help herself out because she wants to know how Wanda is doing all this so she can basically learn it herself. And we just keep going through, and Agatha's starting to put the pieces together. And she's going through, and that's why she's pushing her. She's like, I need a little more. Like, that's literally one of the lines she says towards the end. And the last flashback we get is Wanda at Sword. So this was really cool because this was basically after everybody got blipped back. And we see that she wants to, get Vision's body so she can, see him one last time, basically. And we really get to see the real events of what happened behind what Hayward showed everybody about her breaking in and just stealing the body. So I thought that was fantastically done because this is basically where Agatha puts, like, everything together. And the episode ends with, a big reveal from Agatha. Agatha and Wanda have a standoff, and I thought this was really good, really great because she has a big reveal, and she just drops it like a bomb on Wanda, and Wanda's like, "What?" Just the look on her face was great. But the real ending, though, which I did like too, was the mid-credit scene with Hayward. Now we can see right out Hayward is not a good person. He wants what he wants, and he's gonna get it no matter what. That's basically that's the impression I got. That's from him even before this, because he literally, especially the stuff he says to Monica, and I was just like, wow. I was like, this is awesome. And again, it sets up different things that have happened in previous episodes as well. It basically pays off. The VFX team did an amazing job in this. Honestly, kudos to them, because the effects in this were awesome. I mean, straight from the flashbacks of Wanda's past, and why she chose a sitcom style for each of the episodes, and all the way up to Wanda's first interaction with the Mind Stone, when she started doing when they started doing the experiments on her and her brother. I thought was fantastic. It was amazing. The acting in this was great too. I mean, Wanda didn't even look like she wanted to be in any of these flashbacks of her past, and the looks on her face were just of sadness, and the emotions kind of washing over her as she's learning what she suppressed. All these emotions and everything, all the way to Agnes pushing her as almost kind of a friend, but not a friend at the same time, because she's doing it to learn something for herself too. So Agnes is really doing this, for herself, but she's also kind of pushing Wanda to realize certain things and to come to terms with stuff. Like, this episode is all about coming to terms with grief and facing what comes after losing a loved one. And Wanda's really hasn't been able to process that. She was gone for 5 years. Then she comes back and finds out Vision's body wasn't where it was, where she left it. And we really, get to see, everything start to pay off. Between the great acting and solid reveals in this, WandaVision is setting up Phase 4 with a bang. I can't wait to see the last episode of this. This was such a great episode for just the reveals alone. And it was a slow burn too. It was a slow-paced episode, but it was all story-driven. It was all character-driven. This was all about Wanda coming to terms with her grief. And I would give this, honestly, an 8.5, 9 out of 10. Easily. This was, by far, probably one of my favorite episodes this season. If you guys like what I do, please hit the like button and also subscribe, as I'll be doing more content each week. And leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought about this episode. Take care for now, everybody.